Hey guys, it's John here today. We're going over all of our Amaryllis bulbs. We are filming this right after Christmas, so we've had some beautiful Amaryllis blooming for the holidays, and this is kind of what to do as an aftercare for all of your Amaryllis bulbs. We're in a zone 9B, so we can actually plant them outside in the ground here, but we have a lot of these that were inside that will kind of transition to outside. So if you've gotten a gorgeous bulb for the holidays, this is kind of how you plant it. We like to use a pot that's not too much bigger than the actual bulb size. So this pot is about 6.5 inches wide. So this bulb fits nice and snug in here. They don't like to have a ton of soil. They like to be kind of root bound when they're growing in their containers. So we're gonna fill it up about halfway here with just regular potting mix. There we go. And we do want to leave part of the neck exposed. So we're going to bury this root right here. And we're going to only leave about 1/3 of the bulb exposed because we don't want to bury it. It doesn't like to be buried too much. And so when you just get your Amaryllis bulb, you don't want to overwater it. You want to give it a little bit of water and not water it too much until you see signs of life. So I'll show you guys what those signs of life look like. But this looks pretty good. And you can deck it out. You can put rocks around here. You can deck it out with some moss just to kind of make it look a little bit prettier. But this is one that we planted about, gosh, probably 7 days ago, and it's now sprouting out its bulb, as you can see right here. So we see signs of life. We can now water it on a regular basis when it dries out. This water is actually, this soil is pretty wet, so we're not gonna water it right now. So it looks pretty good. So in a couple weeks, it'll look something like this. It'll start sending out these beautiful bloom spikes. And if you get a nice big bulb, it'll actually send out multiple bloom spikes here. So you can see right here, these were the spent bloom spikes down here. So if you trim them off after they bloom at the bottom, at the base right here, it'll send up more. It'll kind of clean up the plants. And these are seed pods here and dead flowers. We're not really looking to grow seed pods. We want the plant to focus its energy back into this bulb right here so it can store all of its energy in the bulb so it can flower again next year. The seeds take a long time to flower, so we typically don't recommend starting these from seed. But as you can see right here, another bud is forming on this bulb. So it's gonna push out another bulb, another bloom right here. So we're gonna trim off this other dead one that's on the other side right here. And there you have it. This bulb was a big bulb, so it produced 4 stalks. So that really shows you that the size of the bulb matters. The bigger the bulb you get, the more blooms you get. So I know they're more expensive, but it's definitely worth the money. So right here we have one that's totally bloomed out. So we're gonna chop off those stalks again, so that we have a nice, clean, tidy plant right here. Okay. And these are the leaves that are gonna start growing right here. Oops, looks like we cut a leaf, but we're gonna give it some good water so it can flush out and really start growing its leaves. It's gonna have really beautiful strappy leaves in just a couple weeks. As you can see right here, this one pushed out all of its leaves, and this is kind of what it looks like when it starts to grow. So it'll look like this all summer long. We're gonna give it some really good fertilizer once a week so that it can produce really beautiful leaves. And next summer, at the end of the summer, we're going to stop watering this. So for us here in zone 9B, we stop watering typically in November at some point so that the bulb can focus its energy on blooming for next year. So the leaves are all gonna die back. It's gonna divert all of its energy back into the bulb so it can form a nice, beautiful bloom. So this is one from last year that we had, that we cut watering back, that we're still not watering until probably at least Valentine's Day. They naturally bloom in the springtime here in zone 9B. So we'll resume watering in about another month and a half or so. But this bulb is nice and firm, as you can see. It's not mushy, it's still very much so alive, but all the leaves have just died back. And if we pick up this root system, the roots are very much so alive right here. There's some dead ones too that we can definitely take out, but I don't think we'll repot this. We might clean out some of the dead roots and pot it back in its same pot. They don't need a big pot because they actually like being root bound, so we're gonna keep it in there. So this bulb, typically, if it blooms in during Christmas time, and then we save it for next year, it'll take about 1.5 years for it to bloom again. So again, these will bloom next year, and that's kind of the care that we go through in our Amaryllis zone at 9B. If you go somewhere colder, you could definitely have the exact same care. Just make sure you have your Amaryllis inside. They don't like the colder weather, so we'll actually keep this one inside because the nighttime temperatures are still getting down to in the 30s, and this fresh foliage does not like that cooler nighttime temperature. So anyways, you guys, I hope this helps. I hope you try some Amaryllis in your garden this winter. We have Amaryllis during the Christmas season, so definitely check out our shop. And happy gardening. This is John, and I'll see you in the next video.